interesting, session that we're going to have today. So what we're going to do today, basically, now, I believe that usually, when we go on the presentations, sometimes the struggle, the debates and all that is, okay, I mean, what am I doing wrong? What am I supposed to be doing? So I can have a very successful presentation, have a good approach when it comes to my presentations, so that at the end of it all, the check will come. I believe that's something that sometimes we struggle with, and that is what we're going to, talk about today. All right. Now, today I'm going to basically go through some few ones with you. Then the next time we meet, we have another power-packed, presentation on that. So that's what we're going to do today. All right. Are we all ready? Are we ready for that? Are we ready for that? Great. All right. You will put all right, you will put all these things in practice and bear all these things in mind. So please I hope you all have your pen and a paper right there. All right, just wave your hand if you have your pen and papers there. Just wave your Okay, great. All right then, so let's begin with that. Great, all right then. So the first thing I would want you to bear in mind, all right, and I would want you to obviously work on, that is if you have any challenges or any problems with regards to that aspect. Now, most of the presentations we get into, believe me, most of these customers buy into your product not just because, okay, fine, you've gone into the home, you've shown them how good, Salad Master can prepare their meals without water, without the oil and, the salad, showing them the Salad Master machine. And no, it all boils to you as the customer. They watch you to when you finish. They are watching, all right? Because they are asking themselves, all right, then, if this person is presenting, let's say, pounds or $4,000 products to me. Then I need to really analyze, this person critically. There are certain, basically there are certain things that they will be looking out for. Is this person, can I trust this person enough to give up my money to this person?
Okay, Comfort is trying to sort out the internet at their own end, and then she was going to come on. Today it's very exciting. I'm glad to see everybody on up right there on the training today. We have William, we have Bola Tito, Mrs.
Ourselves, you're just thinking about, okay, how I'm just going to have this presentation done and then come out with this check. But then again, mind you, as soon as you get into these homes, it's not about you. It's about these people. All right, it's about these people. And believe me, they can feel it. Whatever you do, whatever you say to these people, they can feel it. They can sense that truly this person wants the best for us. All right. So now this is what we want to pitch out to these people. This is the impression we want to give out to these people when we get into their homes. Selling yourself. All right. Now, when you get into the house, first of all, make a friend. That's very necessary. Pull this down. Make a friend. Now, what do I mean by making a friend? All right. Anything you see in that home. For instance, when you get into the house, all right, you see a picture that, or maybe even the customer is watching a program. All right. I know sometimes, I mean, that's not you. But then again, you need to show them. All right. And I said this earlier on, let them know that you are there for them and not for yourself. For instance, you see this customer, maybe watching a program, you even see a picture, something, a dog, in the house. Give a good comment. Oh, whoa, is that your daughter? It's that your, I mean, just something, just make that friend. You understand? It's very, very necessary. It's so necessary. But then, unfortunately, sometimes when we get into the homes, all right, we are all about, okay, how am I going to get this done? And, start this presentation and, get this check. But then, believe me, all those things count. All these things count. So making a friend is very, very important. Why? Because they take note of these little things. Those little things, these customers take note of that. All right. So those things are very, very necessary. And now the reason why it's very necessary to give that impression is because one, take note of this. Salad master does not end in the customer's house. No. Even after the presentation, you still need to remain as friends. The communication still needs to keep going between you and these customers. Why? Because we have other opportunities that we present to those people. For instance, the cook schools, the stock program. And if you're able to make this friend, your customers, it's going to be use them to these platforms that Salad Master have for them. So that's why it's very, very necessary to do that. All right. So making a friend, building that relationship with these people is very, very necessary. Are we taking note of that? Hand up, just and please, any questions? Once again, any clarification you need, please do not hesitate to pull that across. All right, because again, I want this to be very interactive as possible. Okay, so please, any questions, any interaction, any clarification, just put that across to me. All right. Okay. So as I was saying, this is very necessary. All right. Now, the next thing I need you to take note of, which is so important. All right. When it comes to building value, building what? Value. This is very necessary. Put that down. Building value. Now, what do I mean by building value? These customers do not want to buy the benefits, but they want to buy the incentives. What is this going to offer me? building value, that is so important. Okay, so that is why it's very necessary for you as a consultant, you equip yourself. Now, what do I mean by this? Now, if you do not have much information, obviously you can't give it out to people. You can't give it out to the king. As consultant, all this for you, all right? The training is there. Apart from that, as a person, you need to always, learn. Now, why is this very necessary? Now, this is very necessary because, again, you get into this customer's home, you would meet a very curious one. Believe me, the person keeps asking you questions. And I don't think you'll be so happy when you don't even know to those people, you don't even know the answer to learning. Keep learning. All these are part of the building the value, all right? Because as a person, as a consultant, you need to build a value on yourself, then the product. All these things, believe me, you, this consultants take notice of this. Okay, so it's very, very necessary. The information is so important. Information on the product and information as a person. It's so, so important, all right? So building value, take note of that. Building value in the course of your presentation is very, very necessary, okay? Now, the next thing that I want you to take note of, pull this down as well. Creating a desire, all right? Creating a desire is very, very necessary. Now, what do I mean by creating a desire? Now, creating a desire, obviously, well, someone can say that it falls under the building of the value, but then again, it also gives these customers, all right, a better idea that, excitement to want to acquire this product. And it all boils down to what? Again, as I said to you before, your presentation, all right? Your presentation to these customers. They need to have that desire to acquire this product. So please take note of that. Creating a desire, all right? Now, the next thing that we need to all really look into, again, is what? Urgency. It's so important. The urgency is so, so important. Now, what do I mean by the urgency? Why now? Why now? Why do I need to get this now? All right, the urgency is so important. Now, how do we create that? How do we build that? All right, again, it all boils down to the information we give to these people. You to all understand something. The end. You need to start closing. Like, start closing. You shouldn't give a presentation and then end the presentation now thinking, okay, now what do I do? Now what do I say to these people, to close those people? Right from when you start your presentation, you need to start closing. All right. And how do you do that? Obviously, you do that by all those things that I said to you. If you're able to sell yourself, you're able to make a friend, you're able to have a good setting of the stage, you're able to create a desire, and then also able to create that urgency to those people, you are closing. All right. So right from when you start, you need to start closing. You need to start closing, because come on, in all, the end result of your salad master is obviously what? To get those people to buy this product. All right. So that is why you need to start closing from when you start this presentation. It's so, so necessary. All right. So yes, urgency. Why now? Now, how do we do this? I'm going to quickly go through. All right, I'm quickly going to go through some of the questions. Please note this. Some of the questions, some of the techniques that you can use. This is what will make them see the urgency of buying the products. All right, so please take note of this. First of all right, you need to keep asking them questions. Keep asking them questions. They say talent is not selling. Talent is not selling. But when you keep asking them the questions, that way they get more intrigued. You're psyching them. You're psyching them. So please, asking them questions. I'm going to give you some of the questions that you need to ask these people in your course of presentation. All right, pull them down, pull these questions down. All right, first of all, the question that you can ask these people. All right, now before that, I'm going to tell you something, which is what we call the tie downs. All right, now tie downs are obviously used in your presentation by asking questions and waiting for them to answer. Now, the reason why you do this is because you want them to think or have the impression that they are buying into what you are selling to them. Are we getting the whole point here? So you ask them all this, that's the tie downs, all right? So you need to ask them this. It's just to give them, it's just for them to think that they are buying it. Though. So when you're asking them these questions, then you keep getting them to, obviously answer these questions. All right. Now, some of these questions that I'm going to throw out to you right now, write this down. All right. Some of this question is that what? First of all, madam, or say, can you see? All right. For instance, you are in the kitchen. You are frying the chicken without the oil using the electric skillet. Okay. So for instance, you ask them, can you see that using Salad Master indeed helps you to prevent most of the lifestyle diseases and increase of today by eliminating the fat and oils from your diet? Can you see that? What will they say? They will say yes. They will definitely say what? Yes, I can see that. Great. They say, oh, great. All right then. Now, if I can ask you, sir, madam, when do you think it's necessary to, no, first of all, you can ask them, so would you want to eliminate the fat and oils from your family's diet? They will definitely say what? Yes, I would love to do that. Great. Now, you see what we are getting into? No, you see, you're asking them these questions and they are answering these questions. So therefore, it's like you're just psyching them to obviously buy into what you're selling to them. All right. So it puts them in a position where they are buying, they are buying the products without you enforcing. All right. Without you enforcing that on them. Okay. So now, so would you love to, eliminate the fat and oils from your diets for the family? They will say, well, yes, I would love to do that. Great. So now, sir, when do you think is the right time to do that? You ask them that question. When do you think is the right time to do that? Is it now? Or is it a month to come or 2 months to come? Now, definitely some people would say, oh yes, now, I would love to do that now. I would love to do that now. Now, what are we creating here? Urgency. We are creating what? Urgency. Okay, so that way they see that, they see why they need to invest in Salad Master. They see the urgency because they know if they don't get this, able to eliminate the fat and oils from their diet. And this is something they want for the family. All right. So you need to ask them these questions. It's very, very necessary. All right. Asking. And I said this earlier on, they need to feel and they need to sense that you are there for them. You are there to help them. And the only way they can have this feeling and sense this is for you, when you are asking them these questions, putting those things across to them, then they come to understand, they come to feel that, okay, I mean, this is something that it's good for the family. This is something that I will need to obviously acquire for. But then, if you don't ask them these questions, if you do not engage them in these things, believe me, they just feel, okay, well, they are just watching a presentation. All right, it's just a presentation. Okay, so what next? All right, what next? Okay, it's a presentation. But then when you involve and engage them in all these things, now what happens is that they are now thinking to themselves, all right then, okay, this is something that I would, okay, this presentation, okay, cooking without oil, frying without oil, cooking without water, okay, I've seen it. And to be very honest, by asking all these questions, they are also asking themselves questions. Believe me, they're asking themselves questions. Okay, so do I get this? Do I get this? When do I get this? That obviously runs through their mind. But then when you put these questions to them, then they answer, they are technically committing themselves. All right. So it's very necessary to do all these things. Please and please and please, all right? Creating the urgency, it's so necessary. Creating the urgency, it's so necessary, all right? Now, moving on. Please, before I move on, please, is there anyone there that want to ask any question or any clarification? I just want, because I really want us to understand the point we are putting across. So from the office, if I can have someone, if you have any question, any clarification, please just put that across, please. Just raise your hand. Please raise your hand, please, and then we can continue from there.
One person.
Okay, great. Your name, please. So you can just mention your name and then.
My name is Victoria. I want you to still talk more on that creating a desire. Talk about creating a desire. Yes, you're talking about an urgency. Okay, but creating that desire, please, I want you to talk more.
Sorry, your name is what?
Victoria.
To be very, I can get closer so I can hear. Yeah.
My name is Victoria.
Victoria.
Okay. Yes, so just go ahead. Yeah, I've got the name. So go ahead with the question. Just go ahead with the question. I didn't, to be very honest,
Everything I asked is, how do we create a desire in the customer's heart? How do we create a desire?
Oh, okay. How to create the desire, right? Okay, great. I think I mentioned this earlier on. Now, creating the desire, I think it's just simple, all right? Now, obviously, the creating of the desire falls all under what I said to you. For instance, if you're able to obviously sell yourself, you're able to obviously make the friend, you're able to build the value, All right. And I mentioned earlier to you that building the value, it's not just about the product you are presenting to these people by yourself. The information as a person, as a consultant that you have acquired to educate these people. All right. Now, when you have all this, that desire would be there for the customer. Creating a desire, obviously, if I see something you're doing that I love, if I see something that you're presenting to me that I would love to, acquire, that desire would, will be there. Do we get the whole point? So all those things, when you exhibit it, the customer obviously feels that desire to acquire what you're doing. Why? Because they love what you're doing. They love what you're presenting to them. Okay, so that desire obviously comes in, and then therefore it gives them a firm, and a critical, idea of, or a decision making as, okay, is this something I should get in? Is this something I should acquire? Is this something that I should have in my home? But then, if you're able to give them the right information, if you're able to, present all the skills to them, there won't be any doubts in the customer's head. There won't be any doubts. So therefore, the desire to acquire that automatically will just fall in. Does that make sense to you, Victoria? Does that make sense to you, Victoria? Does that make sense to you, Victoria?
Yes, it does.
It does, right? Great. So basically, these are the things you need to follow. These are the things you need to practice in these homes. Then they would have the desire to acquire products. Okay. Okay, great. Now, moving on. Please, any other question, any clarification? Are we learning something today? Are we learning something today? Okay, I think they're muted, so I can't really hear. Is there any question? Again, clarification? Just raise your hand. Okay, does anyone want to pause there? I can see someone pointing at someone. Okay, all right. Okay, over to you. Okay, over to you.
Please, can you speak more on building value?
Building value.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right then. Okay. So building the value, I think I explained that to further. Now, building of the value, for instance, all right, I said this to you, right from when you get into these customers' homes, it's not about you, it's about them. Now, as a consultant, there are two things you need to look out for. As a person, what's the value I've built for myself? As a product, what is the value that I'm going to build to these people? Now, building the value all starts from, first of all, well, I can talk about appearance. That's very necessary. Yes, appearance. I can talk about your communication. That's very necessary. I can talk about your people skills when it comes to relationship with people, with these customers and their homes. That's building value, all right? I can also talk about the selling yourself, all right? That's building value, all right? As a consultant, When I talk about the information that I have to educate those people, that's building value. Now, moving on to the product. What much information do I have about this product to present to those people? So for instance, all right, I said something to you earlier on. These customers do not buy just the benefits, but they buy the incentive. Do you understand? So for instance, I talk about the benefits of the product. Let's talk about, let's say, the electric skillet, for instance. Okay. Oh, mommy, you know, you've shown them that the electric skillet, of course, the home, what it is that you can cook your chicken in the electric skillet without water, you can fry without oil, you can cook your jollof rice in the electric skillet, okay? Now, I am telling them what this electric skillet can do for them. Am I right? I'm telling them. But then again, I am not giving them in the long run, in the long term, how is this going to help me and my family? Okay, fine. Okay, I can cook jollof rice in the electric skillet without what? Oil. Okay. And so, what's the end result? I can cook chicken. I can fry chicken in the electric skillet without oil. Again, what's the end result? Now, Salad Master's end result, please put this down. Salad Master's end result is what? 1, health, which I will get into that more in depth. 1, health. 2, time. And 3, money savings. Money savings. That is Salad Master's end result. Okay, so now going back to what I was explaining to you, I have told these customers that, okay, electric skillet can cook without your jollof rice without oil, you can fry your chicken without oil. But then again, what is the end result? Now, let's infuse those things that I just mentioned to you now. When we talk about health, what does it do? Oh yes, of course. By cooking without oil, by frying without oil, obviously it helps your family to prevent those lifestyle diseases. All right? The cholesterol, the high blood pressure, you know, all that. It helps you to prevent most of these lifestyle diseases. Hence, you won't be able, it will save you basically. It will save you from what? Taking all those medications, spending a whole lot of money on the, whatever complications that may arise in the future that you would have to end up going to the hospital and all that. It will prevent all those things. Now, what are we talking about here? Health. All right, health. Okay, that is why I said to you earlier on, talent is not selling. But when you keep asking them questions, so for instance, I'm doing all those things in the kitchen. So I'm asking them, okay, mom, daddy, so can you see that in Salad Master, we are able to fry chicken without oil? They'll say, yes. All right. So now, would you want to fry your chicken without oil to obviously save the life of your family by giving them good health? They will say what? Yes. Now, are we getting something here? Now, what am I doing here? I am building value. Okay, then I now ask them, so when do you think is the right time to do that? They will say now, or someone will say maybe a month or 2 to come. So you can see that I'm infusing all this into it. When it comes to health, I've given them the answer to that. When it comes to what urgency, I've given them the answer to that. All right, now let's go to time. Let's go to time. Now, time, I'm going to use, let's say the cake, or in fact, Even the jollof rice or even the chicken, the same thing. Now, in Salad Master, we know that you can cut down the time. When you are using the Salad Master machine, they say, well, most of our customers are happy to have this in their home. Why? Because it cuts their kitchen time into half. Now, what does that mean? What that simply means is that, for instance, if I should be cutting my vegetables with my knife, I know that the time I'm going to spend using on that is going to be much more than using the Salad Master machine. So therefore, what are we talking about here? We are cutting time. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Are we learning something here? So what? Time. Exactly. So we are cutting time. Now, again, in Salad Master, for instance, we get into this customer's home. During the course of the presentation, we cook yam, vegetables, chicken, bake a cake, and with all these things we do for these customers, we spend mostly, in fact, in the course of the food being ready, 25, 30 minutes, it's done. Am I correct? Am I correct? Now, should they have this prepared in their conventional way, it's going to take much more time. It's going to take much more time. And now we are dealing with busy people here who really do not have time, that much time to say they are spending in the kitchen. So therefore, Salad Master helps them to cut the time into half. So what? We have given them the answer to our time. Now, again, money savings, which is the most important one, all right? We all want to save money. Who doesn't want to save money? We all want to save money, all right? Now, with Salad Master, it pays for itself with time. It pays for itself with time. What does this mean? All right? For instance, let's talk about the gas. When we are using the gas to prepare our food in a conventional cookware, all right, we know that we need to use high heat. All right, we need to use high heat. But in Salad Master, we don't use high heat. Okay, so one, it saves on gas. Two, let's go to the cooking. Salad Master, we don't use oil. All right, we don't use oil when we are cooking in Salad Master. Therefore, again, it saves money. How? We don't buy oil anymore. Now, again, let's go to the vegetables. When we are using the Salad Master machine to cut our vegetables, now what it is that Salad Master, what you have is what you get. There's no food wastage. There's no food wastage. So therefore, the amount of money you use to buy your vegetables or your food, all right, you are going to get value of that because there's not going to be food wastage. What you put in Salad Master, that's the exact thing you get out. That's the exact thing you get out. So therefore, you are saving on money. Okay, now the most important one is the product itself. Fine. I immediately, at the right instant, the immediate instant, someone or some of the customers, oh, this is expensive. This product is expensive. But then again, we are gonna save a whole lot of money. How? Because by using Salad Master, we prevent ourselves from having these lifestyle diseases. Hence, we don't go to the hospital as much as we used to. All right. We don't buy all those medications or get on those medications that we used to. Again, most of those lifestyle diseases, we know in the end. Now, let's even talk about the dialysis and all that. That's a whole lot of money. Should someone, unfortunately, have most of this lifestyle, like the kidney problems and all that, we know that's what it takes. Now, that's a whole lot of money. So therefore, by using Salad Master, we are saving what? money for all these future complications. All right. So now, what have we done that now? We have built value on what? The health, the time, and then the money saving. So basically, this is what we mean by what? Building value. So it's not just about the information, but then again, how it will help those people in the long run, in the long term. That is what the answer they want. So that is what the building of the value is very, very important. All right. So please and please and please put these things into practice. When you get into this customers' homes, all right, your presentation skills, these are very, very important. So when it comes, in fact, start closing. All those things, when you do that while you're presenting this to these customers, you are closing these customers right from when you start your presentation. So now when you finish your presentation and you're about to, of course, take the check from those people, it won't be difficult because you have closed this presentation right from when you started to the end. But unfortunately, when we do not give them all this information, all right, then that is where we start struggling at the end of it all. We start struggling when it comes to the collection of the check. We start struggling. Okay, now what do I say to these people? How do I convince these people? Now again, the customer now have an upper hand because the customer realizes that, okay, this person here, I am going to obviously give her the excuses, throw out the excuses to them just to, of course, pull them off. All right, because this customer one is confused. So this customer has not got much information. This customer has not seen the value that you have presented to them. Okay, so by doing all these things, it makes it easier when it comes to the collection of the check from these people. You don't need to work so hard at the end because you have already presented those things to them and they have come to understand and they have come to realize how this is very important for the family. All right, so these are the skills, these are the things that you need to acquire, you need to have. So building up the value, that is what it means. That is what you need to do. All right, so sorry, I didn't get her name, but she asked that question. Is this clearer to you now?
Yes, thank you.
That is clear to you now, right? So henceforth, when you get into the customer's home, are we going to build value by doing all those things?
Yes.
Okay. Before I move on, is there any area specifically that you have been struggling with? You can just raise your hand if there's any particular area that you have been struggling with, so we can tackle that quickly. If there's any particular area that you have been struggling with a lot, in this customer's house, so we know how to tackle that. So the next time you get into their homes, you would actually have this, good presentation skill to obviously, present to those people. So please just raise your hand if there's any specific area that you have been struggling with, so we can do that quickly.
I have a challenge. I'm behind the camera though, but I have a challenge.
Okay.
Yes,
No problem.
when we go to a customer's house and we find out that they are quite interested, but they tell you that they would pay maybe next week Monday or next week Tuesday or at the end of the month. When you actually see that they've indicated interest and you'd like to make them make a commitment, but they still keep insisting that it has to be when they have said. So what can you do? What strategy can you use to make them pay today, in addition to the first call promo and all of that? Like, you're sure that they are interested, they've shown interest, but they said in 2 weeks' time. Because most times in 2 weeks' time, they start to tell you something came up and all of that.
Okay, great. That's fine then. Now, at this point, now when the customer says that, this is where you need to ask, as I said, asking the questions. So now, Madam Sir, that's fine. That's okay. No problem. But then again, if I may ask you, what exactly do you think is the problem? Is it the cost? Is it the product? Is it, ask them this question, all right? So when you ask them this question, whatever answer they give to you, are we, sorry, your name, please, so I can mention your name?
My name is Philip. I can hear you. Philip.
Okay. Philip, all right. So Philip, when you ask them these questions, for instance, and then they tell you that, oh, I think it's actually the cost, it's the cost. Now, the reason why it's very necessary to ask them this question is because you wouldn't want to leave it vague. Yes, you wouldn't want to leave it vague. You want to be in there to show them that you are taking money off them. So for instance, okay, I think it's a cost. It's like, the auction wants the product, but then the problem is the cost. So now you know how to go about, your dealings. For instance, the person tells you is the cost. It's too expensive. All right, then that's fine then. I understand where you're coming from. But then again, if I can ask you, Philip, so if you're talking about the cost, all right, again, is it a mode of payment? The mode of payment, or I just want you to really explain that, the mode of payment or the price itself, then I would know how to go about that. Now, if the person tells you, okay, the mode of payment, or let's say that's too expensive for me, that's fine again, no problem. All right, Philip. So if I told you today, see, I know, we all love to save money, all right? We all love to save money. We all love to save money. So now you can actually save a whole lot of money today. Now, how do I mean by that? For instance, you said you would love to get the presentation, then of course the cost of it. So now what it is that I really, really want your family to benefit from this. I really want your family to have that good, healthy lifestyle. I really want your family, all right, to obviously save a whole lot when it comes on the food, when it comes to, the bills, when it comes, I would want that. So this is what I'm going to do for you, sir. All right. Do you love the electric skillet? Did you love it? Did you love it? Did you love the electric skillet? Did you love the electric skillet, Philip?
Yes, I did.
Hello, Philip. You did. Now, can you tell me?
Hello, yes, I did. Can you hear
about
me?
the skillet you really loved, please? Yeah. So can you tell me what about the electric skillet you really loved?
The fact that it fries without oil and it consumes less electricity.
Okay, great. So you can see that obviously the fact that you can fry without oil, it saves families from future consequences of health hazards and all that, right? And then also the fact that you can save on electricity. So you see, it pays for itself with time, all right? And as I said to you now, I want you to save a whole lot of money. So this is what we're going to do. Since the cost of the money is the problem, I wouldn't want to put so much pressure on you. I really wouldn't want to put so much pressure on you, all right? So this is what we're going to do. So whenever I give you a plan, would that be okay with you? If I give you a plan, would that really be okay with you? Because as I said, we don't really do this to very honest with you. We don't do this, but because I want you to really benefit from this, that's why I want to do this for you. And I know you love the presentation so much. You really loved it. Am I correct? And then you have come to understand and believe how this is really going to help your family. So therefore, I want to put this to you. All right. As I said, we don't do this, but for you, I'm going to do this for you because I can see you love it. You want it, but then the problem is the money. All right. So what if I just give a plan? Would that be okay with you? A plan that would, suit you. And then of course, you will also not be lost, So would that be okay with you?
Yes.
That would be okay with you, right? Okay, great, that's fine.
Yes,
I'm
it will.
happy. I'm really, really happy. Okay, great. I'm really happy because I can see that truly, you want to get this for the family, all right? So now this is what we're going to do, Sarah. This is what we're going to do, Philip. Okay, so now, when you look at the electric skillet, for instance, you told me you love the electric skillet. You did, right? Now, the electric skillet goes for, the electric skillet actually goes for $800. All right. The electric skillet goes, you said you wanted a presentation set goes for two mention a figure, sorry. Presentation set goes for $2,000. So you want electric skillets. I want you to benefit again from this, all right? So now, but if I should leave your home, all right, if I should leave your home without you put any amount at all to secure the electric skillet, unfortunately, in the next future, if you should come back, all right, instead of giving me paying $2,000, you would end up paying $2,800. It's a lot of money. You told problem is the money or the cause. To be very honest with you, I would want you to, save and also benefit from this. So this is what we're going to do, all right? So now, out of that, all right, if you can actually give me, let's say, okay, if I may ask you, Mr. Philip, 10%, 30%, which one do you think would work well for you, please? Out of the 10% of 30%, which one do you think will work well for you?
I didn't really understand. Is it paying 10% of the money or 30% of the money?
Yes, paying 10% of the money or 10%. I just want to find out from you if paying 10% of the money would work for you or 30% will work for you, please. No, I'm doing this because you told me about the money, the cost. That is why, I want to be very flexible with you, sir. Yes. As I said, usually we don't do this. We really do not do this, okay? Usually, we 50% and 70%, that's what we usually do. But then, because you made me aware that the money is the problem, that's why I want to, obviously be flexible with you. So I'm giving you options here. All right, I'm giving you options. So sorry, you said which one will work for you, Mr. Philip?
10% would work for me.
10% will work for you. Okay, all right then. That's fine. That's okay. That's fine then. All right then. So 10% of that. Okay. All right then. It's fine. So now the 10% you want to do right now. So Mr. Philip, now within how many period would you want to make the rest of the payments? Again, usually we give maximum within 2 months or even 2 months, 2 months. So with you, I don't know, maybe 3 months, or you can still do the 2 months, right? So you can obviously settle the balance. Which one do you think will work well for you, please, Mr. Philip?
I was thinking maybe 4 or 5 months.
4 or 5 months. Hey, Mr. Philip. 4 or 5 months. That's a lot. Okay, but okay, 4 or 5 months. Okay, then can we do 4 months, please, Mr. Philip? Is that okay? For 4 months.
Okay, 4 months. Okay, 4 months.
As I said, usually it's 3 months, but because of your situation, that's why I'm actually, I have to go further to 4 months. Okay. All right then. So then 4 months. Okay. That is fine. Okay. So now within the course of the 4 months, would you be making the payments each month, or and I don't know, how do you think you're going to do that? Would you be making the rest of the payments each month, or you would just pay off in the 4 months? Which one are you?
I'll be making the payments at the end of every month for the 4 months.
At the end of every. Okay, right. Okay, that's fine then. Okay, then no problem then. Okay, that is good. Okay, so I have this here. Great. All right then. Okay, Mr. Philip, that's fine. That's fine. I'm so happy. Like, I am so happy that you have secured this for your family. To be very honest with you, I am so happy, because in the end, they say, well, if you don't eat your food as medicine, you end up eating your medicine as food. And I'm so happy that you have come to understand that no, my family needs to benefit from this. All right, so that is fine then. So Mr. Philip, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then it's been a pleasure meeting you. And I'm happy. I'm very happy that you are going to help your family to prevent these lifestyle diseases. Thank you so much, and have a lovely day, Mr. Philip. All right. So now I had to quickly do that. I had to quickly do that drill for skill with you. Why? Because I needed you to, okay, before I even say what I want to say, can someone tell me, okay, now the usual way of, when you get into the customers, or the person tells you, I can't afford it, this, that. Now the approach, and also the demeanor, and also how I went about the whole thing. Now, can someone tell me what you derived from this? And if you should keep doing this with your customers, what the end results would be? Can someone just tell me what you really derived from that? I know you may be practicing a bit of that, but typically from what I just did right now, can someone tell me what you derived from this? You can just raise your hand, or just, okay, I can see William. Okay, William want to talk. Yeah, William, talk please. Yeah.
What I appreciate about the presentation of closing is that you were empathetic. I will use that word. The customer could sense that you have their interest at heart, and you really want them to have the system, and you give them the opportunity. You were not just so strict to your company rules or policy, but you still have some flexibility to accommodate the customer. That way, the customer is seeing integrity, and as such, we want to patronize.
Great. Great. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one. Now you need to do that because I said to you earlier on, you are in the house because of them, not for yourself. All right. So they need to feel that. They need to, when they say those things, unfortunately, some people get so aggressive and the pressure, at that point, you need to bring the pressure off from the customer. But then if you try to be, a bit hard on them and all that, and pushy basically, because I know it can be a bit frustrated, after the whole presentation, and so this person is telling you that, I come by, I know it can. Do not let them see that. When they see that, it's a total turn off. That way they know, oh, okay, so you're in my home to take money off me, right? But they need to sense and feel that indeed you were in the home. So absolutely. Now, any other thing? Does anyone want to say something with regards to that? Anyone want to say something with regards to that? Okay, I can see a hand up. Okay. I can see a hand up there.
What I can see is you being passionate, and then you want them to really feel that they are important, and you really want them to have or to eat with Salad Master. So by being flexible, by being compassionate, by being bending the rules, you make them feel important, and they will buy it.
Absolutely. Now, another thing I heard was passion. So now, someone mentioned what integrity, someone mentioned what passion. Now, are we all aware all these things falls in the salad? It falls in the Salad Master core values. Okay. However, what I did today, I just want to put this across to you. However, what I did today, I had to do it because it was a situation. In a normal closing, you'd be straight off, but then when you see that the person really needs the product, but then this is the challenge the person is having, and of course the person is able to confide and open up to you on that, then you go that way. You get it. But usually you stick to the usual policies that your office have. You stick to that, and then you abide with it and apply that in your closing. But in situations like this, where there are exceptions, this is what you apply. All right. This is where you need the wisdom to go about it. All right. So basically, that is it. Okay. Have we learned something today? Have we learned something today? Have we learned something today?
Yes.
All right then. We will be wrapping up soon. We will be wrapping up soon. But then I would love, as usual, I would love to hear from you all. If I can have like 2 or 3 people that can just tell me what they really learned from today's session, and they are going to put that into practice. So anyone over, the floor is yours now. Just raise your hand and just tell me what you have really learned from today's session. Something that you don't usually practice or you don't usually do, but today you have gained that knowledge and you are going to put that into practice. So if you have I'm listening, go ahead, over to you all. Okay, I can see a hand up. All right. Victoria, right? Yeah, Victoria, yeah. Over to you, Victoria.
Yes. Everything you talked about is, though we've heard it, but it's just like a refreshing and it's more interesting. Now, for me, most importantly, closing from the beginning. makes.
Can you please talk louder so we can hear you? Please talk louder.
Okay.
Yeah, can you come closer? If you can come closer and then.
Okay. Okay. I said everything we talked about today, we've heard them before, but like my president like told me today, our training makes us better. Now it makes us seem as if we're hearing it for the first time. It's more interesting and it's like a goal for you. Now, most importantly, I've learned closing from the beginning makes our presentation easier and makes sales better. Now, from the beginning, using the tie-down questions makes it gets the customers technically committed to what we have for them, and it makes it easier and more interesting and makes them committed, like, oh, I just have to do this. Because from the tie-down questions, they answer for themselves, committing themselves, believing everything we're saying. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Absolutely, absolutely, Victoria. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else want to talk?
We are fine.
Okay, I'm going to mention. Okay, then. All right. Okay, I think someone was going to talk, right? I'm going to mention names. All right, then. So I have Iyobosa. I hope I'm mentioning that one. Yeah, Iyobosa on here. So Iyobosa, can we hear from you what you've actually learned from today's session? Hello, are you there? Okay. I think it's not. All right, I have Mrs. Eze. Is it Mrs. Yeah, Mrs. Eze. Hello, Mrs. Eze, are you there? Okay. All right then. Okay, so can I have, to be very honest, I don't know the name. I think I got only one name. The gentleman in the, is it a pink or purple shirt? The gentleman in the training room. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I learned
Okay.
audience. You need to ask questions. You need to carry your customers along. Like asking them questions like that. Can you see that this is a lot more this like that? This with those questions, you carry them along and you get to answer for themselves and you get to know that what you do for them is good for their health. Thank you.
Great, that's fine. Let me have the last person. So the last person will be okay, I can see a hand up. All right then, over to you.
Okay, my take home for today is first about when you spoke about creating a desire. Now, creating a desire for the customer to acquire the products and also creating an urgency. Now, and you also spoke about how we can create an urgency, and you gave us some key questions, which I'll be using this week also in my presentations. Then also, when you were, the question Philip asked about the closing, now the approach you used was
great.
The approach you used was very, very good, and I saw it as even a way that probably the customer did not even intend to purchase the set that day. Just by that approach. Now, the customer can pay for the set food and even give you referrals and get a dinner from there, seeing the way seeing the concern and the love you have for the customer. Thank you. And as such, the customer will not get the
Absolutely, absolutely. That's great. Okay, so I'm happy we have all the take homes, and again, the state training makes you work great, but putting them into practice makes us what? Greater. All right. So please, let's pull this into practice, and you will be winners. I mean, we're already winners, but let's do this. Let's keep doing this. Let's keep doing this. And obviously, we would achieve our aim. We would achieve our purpose and our goal in Salad Master. We are here to help you. We are here to build you. We are here to grow you. We are here to, get you to be on top, to obviously feel and taste this opportunity in Salad Master. And that is what we are doing, all right? Because we want you to be greater. Okay, so please put this into practice and use. Okay, thank you so much. It has been another great session today. Another great session, exciting session today. And I believe the next time is going to be much, much, much better. All right. Okay, then. Thank you once again. So over to you, Mr. Solomon.
Thank you so much, Comfort. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful questions you asked in presentation. Thank you for